Yo.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what that voice is. Okay. We talk about the big man. I'm talking the guy that came to the Steelers in 2009 as an undrafted free agent. Crazy that you were slept on. But more importantly, out of Tennessee, go Vols. But then from there, man, enjoy an 11-year career, all with the black and gold, starting 145 out of 160 games for the Steelers O-line, and a part of arguably the best offensive line in that Killer Bee era as well. Salute the big rat goat. I'm talking Ramon Foster, baby.
I promise you, man, the moment that I get welcome into anybody's Wall of Fame, Hall of Fame, or just sideways alley of fame, okay? I'm going to make sure you do the intro for me, okay? Man, just give me the side alleyway, man, and I'm going to have you introduce me. It's going to be great.
Mo, with a big-time dude like you, Puller, we got to make sure we roll out the red carpet and get the best intro, all right? So,
I appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Mo. You already know that, broski. Well, first off, man, it is great to hear from you, man. Obviously, we got a chance to run into each other last week at the Combine. If you could, though, since that was, my first time seeing each other in a little while, bro, how have you been, and what was that like for you being back at the Combine in this working capacity compared to when you was out there cutting it up on the field?
Man, the working capacity was way easier than the actual competing capacity, okay? I just want to throw that out there. It was cool watching it, and I think we all have that happen in the NFL or in college too, where you see coaches, they send you to practice and they go out and have a good time. You hear about them, going to the bars, or the people that cover you in the media, which we do media now. They were, oh man, we had a good time at so-and-so bar. I got an opportunity to see that in full form, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was cool watching and being amongst them. But on the evaluating side of it too, I laugh because I remember being one of those guys at the Combine, nervous, didn't know who was who, didn't know how to act, didn't know any of that crap, man. So I'm going to be real with you. I thoroughly enjoyed it, man, on the fact that, look, career fulfilled, and you got an opportunity to just watch the rest of these young guys get it. You know what I'm saying? It was cool.
No, I love that right there, bro. That's the thing that's crazy because it's like it is such a night and day experience, man, when you're doing it as a player versus, man, be able to come back on that media side. I'm like, bro, it's actually fun to see people I'm like, y'all waving, everybody go, Mo, I see Mo in the building. Like, yeah. But when you out there competing, oh, man, you ain't think about none of that. You like, bro, I got to be locked in. I know they watch it every day.
Yep. 100%. And I hated it, but I loved it at the same time because all we ever wanted most was a shot and an opportunity. And that's what the Combine was. But it was good running into you, good running into Max, man. I saw my Steelers family up there, man. It was really, really cool. But I did notice this, too. It is a lot of movement and motion around there, too.
It is crazy now.
Yeah, if you see all the scouts or if you recognize certain GMs by face value, you see them just moving from one building to the next or talking to certain people. It was good vibes, man. And now they got the fans' involvement inside the stadium, which is insane. I might have run 1/10 of a second quicker had I had the crowd there.
Hey, look, but if you would have done that, now we don't know if another team would have drafted you, baby. All right.
Okay. That's true.
Now, for those that don't know, if you could, man, just talk a little bit. 09, obviously, man, you don't get drafted, but what went into your process of deciding to sign with the Steelers versus any other team that you could have chose to sign with?
Man, my agent at the time told me it was a land of opportunity, and I didn't know what that meant until I got inside those walls. And what's even crazier behind that, I say this and people probably think I'm lying, but it didn't dawn on me that they had won the Super Bowl at the time because I was so locked in, and I had my son. Yeah, I had my son in 08, and in 2009 of that year, right before I went to the Combine and stuff, he had open heart surgery and everything too. So I had a lot on my plate, man, as far as life. You know what I'm saying? And you know how it is once you have kids. So I'm trying to survive and thrive and all these types of things, man. And getting into Pittsburgh was one, I'll say this. They weren't the team that offered me the most money. They attached priority free agent to my name, which told me I had a good shot of making the team, or they thought highly of me. If there was one more round, I might have been an 8th rounder, you know. But what it turned into was one, I had to pay bills because daycare was due. Cleveland was another strong team. They probably came after me the hardest. But they offered me, yeah, I know. Imagine that.
I'm so glad you chose. I'm so glad you chose the black and gold. So glad to hear that. Oh,
well, see, here's the thing. They operated in that era the same way they were for years to come after that. They only offered me like $2,500. Steelers offered me $8. The Steelers offered me $8,000, and what's crazier is the Jets offered me $16,000. I chose to take the 8 and go to Pittsburgh where I can actually make the team.
Time out. Moan, you said you got the little man. I know you got you got diapers. Dude, diapers expensive, bro. You got that formula. Hey, bro, you turned down the 16 for the 8.
I did because you know how it goes. All you need is a shot, and somehow my agent and Coach Tomlin and Kevin Colbert.
Shout out to Kevin Colbert, baby.
They just told you got a shot. And what's even sillier than that, though, Moats, is when I got in the building for that rookie introduction and stuff like that, I had like 2-3 people tell me, you can make this team. And you know what I was thinking? Where in the heck are y'all doing the daggone draft, man?
Hey, look, call my phone, bro. I got the same number. What you tripping on?
It didn't change. I promise you it didn't change. But that's why Pittsburgh, man. And what's crazy, you know this to be true, too. Had I gone to Cleveland because I felt like they wanted me more, they changed staff like 15 different times.
Very true.
New coaches like what they like. If I'd have gone to the Jets, they actually changed, I think, to Rex Ryan not soon after that, too. So, I mean, there's no telling if I would have been one of his types of players, plus New York taxes and stuff like that. And one thing about Pittsburgh, they had a steady Eddie, a head coach that liked the style of ball, and I played that style of ball. So, it actually worked out for me.
Nah, respect on that. And man, I always enjoy whenever I look back on your career because you were a dude that was here pre-Goon era and then post-Goons. You feel me? Like, you were part of the movement, man. So if you could, just talk about the O-line and the culture that you've been a part of when it was viewed very differently when you first got here, 09 up until 13. Then 14 on the way to 18, y'all are the best in the league. What is that dynamic like for you, man?
Man, in those first like 2, 3, maybe even 4 years, man, it was a different style of ball. It was, hey, let's go on here and beat the heck out of everybody type of ball. Yeah. It was, look, go fight. Like literally at times, go fight and stir up some stuff. Like I played with dudes, and you've been around them, Willie Cologne, Max
Willie
Stars,
Big Max, yeah.
Man, Chris Kemoatu, like those guys that wanted to just beat people up. And the game started to change a little bit in a sense. And one, they wanted to get younger. I think they saw something in us. But I will say this. The DNA of what we became when Coach Tomlin started labeling us as goons was from those guys, from Willie. And I got to give Willie a lot of the credit. Just being a verbal, vocal, and show you type of leader. And I would also throw Chris Kemoatu, Juicy, in there too, is what we called him. You remember Juice? Juice is what we call, because they played a certain type of ball and they set a tone that, look, man, go punch somebody in the daggone mouth. That was the whole mindset of it. So when we started to grow up, and we took our lumps too, because Max ended up leaving, Trey Essex was gone.
Shout out to Trey,
shout out to Trey, who's doing what we do now too. Trey was gone. By the way, 2-time Super Bowl winning champ.
No, hey, put some respect on the rings, bro. They look good.
Oh yeah, they look good on them, man. Him and then Willie, I think, was like one of the last ones of that tenure to go. And so from that point right there, when they're out, you got a young myself, young Marquise. Jonathan Scott was with us for a little while, and we just had to grow up. And being real with you, we were in a situation, man, where we had to go trial by fire because we were playing young. And then we got to the point to where we just said, no, this is not what we're going to do. We're not going to take this.
Hey, don't take it.
And then practice. You feel me?
Don't take it.
And most, you know this, like Coach Tomlin made practice hard. They made camp hard, and then he made us go out front in all of that. He pitted us against each other as far as the offense and the defense. 9-on-7 was about as real as he got. 1-on-1 was about as real as he got. And then it just somewhat morphed into y'all growing up. And when we started to get like light days, he started pulling us back in camp or practice and stuff. that's when the goon persona came about. And it really was a beat 'em growing up. Like, I think they recognized behind the scene, now that I think about it, oh, we got a shot.
Yeah.
And it wasn't going to go anywhere if we couldn't hold our own up front.
Yeah.
And that's where that goon mantra came into it, because they were trying to protect Ben as far as the amount of hits he took. And we took that personal too, right? And because of that, he got a weird way of making you run through a wall, Coach Tomlin does.
Facts.
And when he threw that label on us, and you know it, most, he said it every day.
Mm-hmm.
He put it in the public, and he somewhat put that pressure on us to live up to it. And then it became one of those things where playing on the O-line became cool. So we made it cool by whooping folks' butt.
Facts. Big facts.
Yeah.
Big facts. Hey, look, and y'all was all drippy too. I was like, yo, y'all the swaggiest O-lineman. Our vases, tape, spat. I'm like, bro, what type of O-lineman is y'all, bro?
Wearing mostly black socks. We were breaking
I'm like, what is this?
Codes. Yeah. But I'll tell you this though too. How we got to that point was we challenged each other though, most.
Yeah.
Like, if we had somebody that had a weight issue or had a bad play or wasn't doing the whole in their own, nobody felt slighted if you got challenged. And you've been around us when it was Alejandro, or whether that was Beach or whoever it was. Like, we were able to go at each other because, one, we were growing up together, but two, we smelt what playing good felt like. So if you weren't holding up your end, especially the young guys after us, oh, you was going to have to hear it. Or it was one of those things, too, most to where, let's say if I had a bad play, use me for instance, I'm over there sulking because, man, I can't believe I gave up a sack to him. Pounce look at me like, Mom, hey, Alpha, that type of stuff happened. Let's move on. And I'd be like, all right, okay, cool, let's go. Yeah, it was that type of back and forth that you were just like, okay, keep the main thing the main thing.
Right.
And we grew up together, man, had kids, got married. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys like had tragic things happen during that time, and we all surrounded. Like, it was a real live team brotherhood, and still is to this day.
Big facts.
Now, piggybacking off that a little bit, what was your take with the Steeler Way conversation that was happening, like, in the middle of the season? Like, you were talking about the offensive line, how you had guys beforehand kind of like teach you got, you, Pouncey, DeCastro, how things were done. Do you feel like there is something missing with this current squad?
Unity and growth together. And here's the thing too. However I explain what I'm about to say, I'm not in those guys' meetings, locker room, or in their text threads. You know how those go, right? But here's the thing, though. One thing I will say is, and I'm glad it happened this way, and I'm glad our careers played out how they were. But I know for a fact, Seven was adamant about trying to getting our group a ring. And when you have myself that make it to year 11, and Pounce make it to year 11, and then Dave's, retire, and then Al is gone. You got to give Kev and Omar credit for trying to build it back up to where it's sustainable. So they went through draft, tried to really quick, and then they went with free agent. We're trying to get Mason Cole and James Daniels signed, right? And what you have there is you're forcing people inside of a room that's got to somewhat figure it out on the fly with the new offensive line coach. And that ain't no knock, but O-line is one of those positions. If you have the grace to grow from the inside out, meaning you draft your guys, you develop your guys, then you have the ability to set a standard for what your level of play and expectation is. Like, you are a Steeler when you grow up that type of way. And that's not to knock anybody else, but it was somewhat hurried up because you didn't have the grace of having a veteran quarterback no more either. There's a lot that goes into having the ability to be your dudes. Like, look at Dallas. Dallas guys are all homegrown. Like, we're talking about a team right now in Detroit, right, that's been the laughingstock for the last 20-plus years. And you know what they did when they got Dan Campbell? They went and got Panay Sewell. And then they went and got other guys on that offensive line. Then they got defensive line. Like, that type of stuff right there is how you get away. When you mention the Steelers way, like, now they got a Lions way. Now this is the Cowboys way with how they build their O-line. And when you build it through free agency sometimes, you don't get the grace of watching guys grow and having the same system under them to where they're all on the same page. Like, it'd be times where in the early parts of us growing up with me, Marquise, and let's go Dave and Gilbert, because all of us was there before, you know, Al and others. Like, we would over communicate. And then it came to a point to where we ain't even say nothing. You can't get that when a guy, sometimes when multiple guys are coming from different systems like that fast. That's the difference.
Now, what do you think of our draft pick from last year? First round pick, Broderick Jones.
A stud. I'm talking about every bit of one. I'm talking about a stud. He is an athlete. I've seen conversation and articles come up about him moving to the left side and whatnot. I do think he can play it. I saw some of the stuff that he was capable of doing. And here's what I will say, too. I know a lot of people don't feel this way. I am a Dan Moore fan. If he can move over to the right side, make a team sacrifice and master that in some sense, maybe having him and Broderick over controlling those anchors on right and left tackle could bode well for him. I like also the fact that last year, you know, the conversation was Broderick saying we want to run for 250 yards. Yeah. And they get like 225. Like, that was one of those things, man, when you have a unique talent, and I got to correlate him somewhat to Marquise Pouncey by saying this. You need those caliber guys who are also vocal and feel like, you know what I'm saying, like the Joker was in Dark Knight Rises. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, at any point in time, he can go off and just make the room better.
Facts.
Or just be edgy. And I think they need that in that room, right? Most, you remember what they look like.
Bro, Pounce got that just crazy about him. Yeah, but everybody responds. If he's going crazy, we watch y'all go crazy. It's like defense, you're going to respond. Bro, I've seen y'all shut down a whole game on a Thursday night. I've seen it. I've seen y'all shut down a whole game like, oh, they killing the Panther. Oh, God. Oh, God. He's dead. I've seen it.
So I'll say this, man, if this gets to him in some capacity, and I had run across Broderick Jones or had a conversation with him, but if I was him and he feels that way, I would ask him, man, to go to Florida. I think Pounce is in Fort Lauderdale. Yeah. And spend a few days with him. And ask him what was it like, because I got to be honest, Pounce led even as a young guy, not even vocal, not even vocally, but it was just through his actions. So everybody felt that pressure.
He got that presence about him, bro.
Yeah. So I think he's that type of guy. But I think as young as he is, he got to know how to navigate those waters, and there's nobody better to talk to than Marquise about that.
No, that's respect.
Fair most.
No, 100%, 100%, bro. You already know. When you talk about just like that type of edginess, leadership, but also that raises everybody around you, Pounce had that impact. Like you said, man, we watch him look at you, look at Gil, look at Double D. We like, all right. On defense, we like, hey, bro, you better respond because he about to kill somebody out here. He don't care if it's Wednesday practice. He don't care if it's Thursday. Pouncey would have them thumbs taped up and he jamming at everybody. You like, bro, what is good? I thought you was hurt, Pouncey. I thought you could, like, he actually kill for. But that's Pouncey, though. But like you said, though, it's contagious because when you start seeing that, you like, bro, I can't let that dude down. If he going that hard and he is who he is, what excuse does anybody else have? That's how I always looked at it, man. 100%. Absolutely.
All right, you know I got to ask about the quarterback.
Uh-oh,
Mo.
Do
it, man. Especially
on,
with everything going on.
Come on now, Mo. Come on.
Let's go.
I don't even know if I got to ask a question, really. Like, just... What are you doing? What are you doing if you're Omar Khan? What are you doing?
They said the meeting is set up, Mo. They said they'd called up Russ. Russ done called him back. They liking IG pics. You know how it is. He like, yo, Russ, you look good in that workout. He's like, well, I'm following the Steelers now. Now they going to go out for dinner. So, oh, it's only a meal 5. Oh, that, you know.
There's a lot to it, man, because you have your guy Kenny in-house, right? The thing that I'll say about this, and I'm gonna walk through. If y'all give me a second to walk through this, man.
We're here to listen.
And I'm open to opinions in all things when it comes down to this. If you have your guy, why are you looking over his shoulder, especially at that position? Moats, when it comes down to starters and backups in the NFL, right? It was times where I got injured and I was out of a game. And we went to Buffalo one year in a big old snow game.
Hey, the 300 on the ground. L Bell. Let's get it.
Yeah. Man, you remember
Come
that.
on, bro.
And I wasn't in that game. And, of course, I feel the competitive pressure. I got to get back quick. That was me, okay? I got to get back quick. I got to get back healthy. You know what happened when I got back healthy, most? I was the starter again. There was reports that Kenny was healthy at the latter part of the season and got healthy. And they chose to go with Mason. Never have I ever seen somebody be in that position and be called a starter. You got demoted is how that happens. The similar thing happened to me in a sense. I somewhat did it to somebody else, okay, to where their level of play at the time wasn't matching, and I was the continued starter for the rest of the year. When it comes down to that position, you have to be very fragile about it because your guy can't have a strong backup behind him. If it's true, and Jerry Dulac did say this, they are entertaining Russell Wilson. If you feel like your guy is the guy, you don't bring in a Russell Wilson for a backup position. Russell Wilson is a bona fide Super Bowl winner. He's a guy that's played in 2, would have potentially won another one had it not been for the interception in the birth of Malcolm Butler, right? You don't do that type of thing. And then I look at Mason's situation. The thing that my opinion about how I feel about Kenny is this. In his 2 years as a starter in Pittsburgh, we have yet to see a game from him the way we've seen from Mason Rudolph in those last 4 or 5 weeks. And I know you'll say, well, he's got the comeback games and stuff like that. Yes, he does. But over the course of a game, has he commanded? Has he stayed in the pocket? Has he delivered? Has he had his wide receiver saying, man, I like him? You got one of his starting guys telling him, man, I like catching from Mason.
We agree
That's
with
the
you.
issues that you're running into.
We agree with you. We've said that. Mason played – that's the best quarterback play we've seen over the last 2 years, what Mason did at the end of the season. Yeah.
And that's where it becomes bothersome for me. The fact that they told Mason they want to do business with him, the fact that they're entertaining Russell, and Omar has to do that. Omar Khan has to entertain because in the NFL, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. And when it comes down to that position, and you know, in particular, I have to ask myself as somebody who's a fan, who's played there, and try to analyze that as much as I possibly can. Have we seen that out of Kenny? And the true, honest answer is possibly no. We're talking about completion percentages. Right. We're talking about when they challenge him to say, dog, stop rolling out to the left. That screws your offensive line. And then he gets in games and do those things again. Now, here's the other side of that, too, is Mason's standpoint. Mason's situation to me is this. Mason stayed around long enough to get good, better at his game. A lot of people aren't giving that grace either. As far as saying, man, this dude was a backup, and now he's showing promising signs. Right. You know who else was capable? I mean, who was recently done that too? That's Geno Smith. Like, you got to be somewhat lucky to stick around. And I'll say this too. I think we microwave these prospects a little bit too soon, too quick also, as far as expecting them to be great. And Mason was given that grace. And right now, Kenny's under the fire because he's had that performance by Mason, and then you got Russ conversation happening. If I'm Kenny, I'll be honest with you, I'll be a little livid behind this because you told me I was the guy. It's a situation where don't believe what they say, believe what they do.
With them actions talking about, Mo. With them actions talking about, Mo. You said I was the guy. Why you want to go to lunch with that then? Why you want to talk to that? Yeah.
Imagine if that was the case with one of your teammates talking about, man, I got a main girl, but then I'm going to like you Lou Williams.
Yeah. Lemon Pepper Lou.
That don't make sense to people that tell me they're committed, and that's where, to me, it becomes very problematic and sticky for Kenny. If I'm Kenny, at some point, because he can command it before it gets super bad, I'd probably be talking to my agent like, can we find a way out somewhere?
I like that there. All right. Now,
man,
why would you not, though?
I was about to say, hey, you got it spicy, Mo. And look, I'm over here looking at the clock like, bro, we got 5 minutes before my dog got to tap out. We got 5.
I'll go with you longer.
Energy, though.
I'll go longer with you if you need me to, because the wife went and picked up the kids, and I thought I was going to be on video. So if you want to roll, we can roll.
Oh, well, you know we got time, because we got plenty we want to talk to you about, baby. Trust me. Yeah, I was trying to make sure, I'm going to be respectful for your time, baby. You know that.
Yeah.
You know that.
The wife went and picked up the oldest note. I made a father sacrifice.
Salute you. Hey, dad to dad respect. Dad to dad respect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I get that. 100%
so Deke, we got time then. Yeah, we got time. We got time.
I love the breakdown there, but you got to answer the question. If you're the GM, what are you doing?
If I'm the GM, I'm searching. Again, if we look at Kenny's completion percentage, if we look at his decision, like,
hello,
Deke,
it's me.
Are you?
Deke,
wait,
I got a question.
Who are you searching for, though? Are you going?
Is it you?
Completely outside, or are you looking a little familiar, like a Mason?
I'm looking at another. I'll say this: Mason will be a strong option. You know why? Because he showed me what I want to see out of my quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, Deke, I have to ask you this. Even after Canada, what?
That Bengals game was nice.
That Bengals game was nice. You're right about that. It was. Where else can you say that you believe he's your franchise quarterback?
Well, I like what he does. I like what he does in the fourth quarter when adversity's there, when things aren't looking the hottest or the game's close. He does rise to the occasion. He does have the game-winning drives. I think he straight up played pretty damn good second half of 2022 in his rookie year after that bye week. I know we didn't ask him to do anything amazing, but I thought he played good for all the situations we put him in.
For all the situations that you put him in. Okay, when you saw Mason play versus him play, did you say, "Oh, that's"?
Oh no, I agree. No, listen, I agree with you 100%. Like Mason, was the better quarterback of the two. Like Mason was the better quarterback for the team in 2023. Never thought I would have said that going into the season. Like it's crazy. Like it completely shocked me how Mason played.
So if you said that and you got Mason in your house, or at least you can get him at a value pick for what quarterbacks are being paid now, even if he's getting $8 to $12 million a year, you still are under budget when it comes to spending at that prime position. So with that being the case, the option for you to either sign a veteran if Russ is going to take the $1 million salary like they said he was going to do, or if you have a position where you're only paying Mason 8 to 12. That's a life you'll live right there, considering the fact that, look, Kenny, you are under contract. We don't have to cut you. You belong to us. Yeah. So much so that we got a fifth-year option. And I go find me a quarterback until I figure out what's next. And then that's the thing, too. You mentioned, like, his fourth quarter stuff, but when you had to battle in a game like the Seahawks, do you trust Kenny Pickett to make those types of plays in those types of games? And the other side of this is it becomes very unstable for your guys up front when it comes down to protection. Like there's a couple times, and even I criticized Mason about this one. Mason rolled one of the few sacks that they gave up while he was playing. He rolled out to the left right into Dan Moore's block. Yeah. And I was thinking to myself, Mason can do that. The one thing about an offensive line and your wide receivers is this. They need to know where you're going to be at and are you going to be on time. Yeah. I don't know how many times we've seen Kenny be on time. And this ain't no indictment on Kenny or no bash Kenny hour for me. It is, man. I said this on my pod that I do. I said, I'm not into the feelings business or emotions. I think we learn to work with playing with Coach Tomlin.
Take the feelings at the door. Leave the feelings at the door, bro. There's business over here.
We trying to win. Yeah. And my job depends on your play and winning too. And if it's just like trying to get like government assistance or something, right? You type in what you make and the computer decides. That's what the NFL is. And you can't be emotional about that type of stuff. I've had guys I've been really cool with that got cut, and it conditions us to be like, okay, seriously, well, what's next? Yeah. And that's where I stand on that conversation. And do I think you need a world beater? No. Do I think you need somebody that can manage a game? Yes. And that's the word that a lot of people don't like using, game manager. Like, you do have to manage the game, those moments right there. And until we see Kenny consistently do that, it ain't me who's criticizing him. Like, it's Omar. It's Coach Tomlin.
Yeah.
It's his teammates saying out loud, I like playing with Mason. Like, that's the issue that you're running into. And again, he has all rights as a pro now to control Kenny Pickett LLC by telling his agent, hey, start asking if I can be released or go seek a trade. Like, that's the next phase right there.
Get on the offensive.
If this doesn't work out. And like I said, the reason I say the quarterback position is somewhat, I don't want to call it fragile, but you can't have two known starters on the team because the moment the starter messes up, they want the backup.
We said competition anywhere else is very different than legitimate competition at quarterback because they are very fragile. You can't have them dudes looking over their shoulders like how we could be over here and it's like, hey, Mo, this your series. If you mess up, though, just know this cat finna come over here and take your spot. Yeah. It can't be like that for the quarterbacks. Yeah.
It cannot be like that for the quarterbacks, and it seems weird, but that's just how it is. Look around the league. There are no strong backups as far as guys' personalities.
Yeah.
That's one of the conversations that Cam Newton had, right? He said, I can't be signed because they think I'm too strong of a personality. There's truth in that. So imagine bringing Russell Wilson inside of that locker room.
Now, you know there's also another name that was out there, too.
Yeah.
He in Chicago at the moment still. Justin Fields. How you feel about that one?
I don't like that one because it comes with an automatic commitment.
Okay.
It has to come with that fifth-year option and deal. And I don't know if you've seen enough out of Justin Fields to justify signing him in those moments. I think he's been dogged out as far as his coaches, as far as what Chicago's concerned. Zero help as far as you still got me.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Man, we know you that's the Bentley you in, or in the yours? Which one you in right now, bro?
Man, stop. I'm in out here. I'm in a lowly truck.
My man got the color. He just popped to the color and it said, "Good afternoon, Ramon."
Yeah, right. There you go. See, I ain't gonna talk about the gold Rolex I saw you have on.
Hey, look, you were color coordinating your Rollies with your outfit for the day. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Deke. He had the powder blue on one day. He had the burnt orange on. I'm like, bro, this is filthy, bro. Yeah.
Hey.
Don't let Moan trick you now. Moan ain't like these other people. Moan, that big paper, that long paper over there. The Barack.
See, there you go. I love it, Most. You know I love that stuff. As it pertains to Justin, though, it'll be, to me, I like him as a player. And I think, again, he was in a situation in Chicago where it's just been a crap show.
Yeah.
There's been no stability. And I think he's gone there and start to question himself. Chicago's just a messy situation to me. And I don't think you've seen enough out of him as far as his coaches go in order to give him a fair assessment. I know the same can be said about Matt Canada, too.
Yeah. That's respect. Now, what I want to also ask them, man, since we got you on and we talking these old linemen, and I know you was watching some of these cats at the combine, how you feeling about these tackles, man, and these centers that's in this draft right here, baby? In terms of how some of the help that we could potentially be looking at over here.
Man, they're solid. This is probably one of the fastest O-line groups I've seen. It's so many 5 flat guys.
Yeah.
So close to being 4'9". Like even Joe Alt at 6'8", 320 plus
which
ran
is
like a 505.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
That's crazy.
And then the one that I like, and I know a lot of others feel this way too, is Amarius Mims.
So talk about Mims. Talk about him more.
Another big man that is really legit. Big athlete, I think will do well in a system like Pittsburgh where you can move people around. Be very, very fascinating, man, to see what happens at that position because it is a position of need.
Yeah. Now, with Mims, are you concerned any with just the lack of starts and actual, like, in-stadium experience? I know he crazy athlete. We saw him, in the Natty, saw him in the semifinals, but he just hasn't played a ton of games. Does that deter you in any way?
Not really. Because I've seen guys like him in that position before to whereas it handles itself. If you can play, you can play. He's a guy that's touted as a top 15, top 20 guy.
Yeah.
And he comes out of high school with that same billing too. He understands how to play ball. And again, football is one of those injury sports. that stuff like that happens. And when it comes down to believing the dude can play, either they can or they can't. The thing that you have with him is it's not like you would draft him as an injured player and you got to wait on him.
Oh, very true. Yeah, he's healthy.
You know
right
what I'm
now.
saying?
Yeah.
So, and then he's young. You can get him in your system. You can get him. You can teach him NFL ways fast. I know a lot of people are talking about, this class is older as far as the transfer portal and stuff like that. But there was a time, and I think there still is a time, where now they will they like to get young guys in, those 20-year-olds, those 21-year-olds.
3 contract guys, baby.
Exactly, and be pros quickly. So that doesn't push me. Plus, he's played big-time ball, too, when he's out there. Yeah. Played in the SEC, played at Georgia, understand what it takes. I like him, big, powerful. He's played the right side, but I'm not opposed to it. But, again, that's a situation where if you draft him, what do you do with Dan Moore, right? But that's the NFL. It's crazy that people feel sorry for Kenny Pickett, but not Dan Moore in the same situation. Make it make sense.
Hey, he done started for 3 years now in a row. I mean, my man out there snap after snap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know PFF is law to a lot of people, and they're my dudes. But there are some flaws in how you can grade somebody out and who you designate sacks to.
Now, Mo, you know, in Pittsburgh, you can't be bringing up PFF. You seen how that Depot situation went, bro.
Oh, that's terrible.
They
swung it. They hijacked. It's atrocious.
They feel some type of way about that PFF right now, bro.
I know. Yeah. Win rate, whatever that is. You know what I call that, most? What is it? Pressure?
Pass rush, win rate. But no. It's not a pressure. It's not a QB hit. It's not a sack. It's a just pass rush win rate. Yeah.
So it's not even getting a stat. You know how offensive linemen feel about that? You know how we feel about that? That's a completion. That's a completion. It's a completion. Because a quarterback's supposed to feel some pressure. Yeah. That's his job to stand in the pocket. Yeah. And that's an almost sack. That's what that is.
You almost got him, though. Good work.
And I've told guys that, boy, if you was a little bit quicker. Hey. I've said that in games before, like, man, you almost had me. So, yeah, that's how that goes.
Oh, respect.
I got another one for you about being GM. A little early. I mean, we're, a month and a half away from the draft. Who would be your pick right now at number 20?
At number 20?
Yeah.
Golly, Deke.
I know it's before free agency and stuff, but like.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So my 3 hot spots for Pittsburgh is this. There is a need for corner, and I'll be honest, I'm not as fluent in corner as I am at other positions. So if there's a guy there that they think is good, hey, corner could be a position that you get. But I also say with that, you'll have 2 young guys holding down both sides of the field, so that can be problematic for your defense. As far as guys I like, give me Jackson Powers Johnson.
Oh, okay.
The center out of Oregon.
Yeah.
Give me Marius Mims. Yeah. And of course, if you want to keep it local, give me Zach Frazier. I'll give me 2 centers and give me a tackle.
West Virginia in the building. All right.
Tough dude that knows how to work angles and stuff like that. Yeah. So those are the guys I like. And I'm not sure if there's a first-round D tackle at 20, which is a prime spot to get one of those dudes. But I will say I think it's time to start getting Cam some more help. I think Keanu Benton was real solid in his rookie year and should grow. But we saw a disappearance of DeMarvin Leal this year, right?
That's real.
We got to figure out what's going on with him. Isaiah Loudermilk is another guy. I like Larry Ogunjobi. But at some point, you got to start shoring up that D-line and also that inside off-ball linebackers. Like, that's got to be figured out, especially when you go playing Quan, you playing Holcomb, and then you also playing Elandon. You know what I'm saying? Like, figuring that position out would be a huge plus at 20 if there's a guy there you like.
Now, you mentioned Cam. What's going on with his contract?
His situation would be an extension, right?
Yeah.
So they ain't got to be in no rush for it. Pittsburgh always operates like that. If Cam was going to get something, I'd probably expect it to be the mini camp or camp. That's the way they've always operated. They usually take care of guys. Cam just won Walter Payton Man of the Year.
You can't. I'm about to say you got to take care of the good guy. Everybody know, Mo. You an NFL good guy.
Straight
You
up.
a good guy. Come on,
down,
bro.
Straight up.
We got to get
but
that
Cam a mean
down.
dude too.
He's a mean, nice guy. Yeah, with a friendly disposition. There you go. Yeah.
And that ain't no charity case for a dude like Cam,
No,
man.
facts.
In today's game, every franchise great gets a walk-off for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
If Cam's gonna play, right? I mean, if Cam wants to be done, I think Cam will have some say-so in that because he's earned it,
Yeah.
number one. And I think the franchise will do the right thing behind it, too, especially, how Troy's stuff was documented whenever he had to be let go and being got a send-off. I think it'd be right for Cam potentially to get one, too. So I don't even worry about his contract situation. He's done enough, and he, to me, has started that conversation of walking gold jacket. I mean, he's borderline Hall of Fame if he's not already there.
You speaking my language.
I got one more for you. This one's a little off the wall. Any truth to Pitt going to the SEC rumors?
Pitt? I've never heard that yet.
I saw it floated out there on Twitter.
He said, bro, that can't happen. That Pitt. Why you laugh when you heard Pitt though, bro? That was kind of personal, bro.
Most trying to stir the pot. Most trying to stir the pot.
Crazy.
But I'll say this: they beat Tennessee with Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
So I ain't got much room to laugh. Right?
We would have won too up at Heinz Field if
Respect.
Slovis didn't get hurt. I can't believe I'm saying that because he was trashed the rest of the season. But you saw how we were looking going into halftime there.
Hey,
and then he got hurt.
If your auntie had a set, she'd be your uncle. So we can't play the F game, okay?
I get it. We were holding our own, is what I'm saying.
Hey, with all due respect. With all due respect. There you go. Yeah.
With all due respect. But, and I say that jokingly because Pitt's put out a lot of first-rounders as of late. Kalijah Cansey as of late. They will always have dudes in the fold. Pitt plays big-time ball. The issue that Pitt has will be support. You know what I'm saying? As far as travel and trying to get into the ACC, I see Pitt moving to a place like the Big Ten if they're going to ever make a move instead of, coming to the SEC regionally and budget-wise. I don't know if it makes sense for a school like Pitt unless they just, really want to play that game right there. And then, of course, the recruiting aspect of it, too. I'll say this, and it's going to sound very condescending, but it's a different athlete. You know what I'm saying? As far as the recruiting bed that you're jumping into when it comes down to that. So I like Pitt, though. I enjoy their games and everything. I think they compete well. And honestly, a sleeper school that's put out probably more Hall of Famers or potential Hall of Famers than a lot of other schools. When you look at it, Fitzgerald's going in. Aaron Donald can retire right now. And I think if somebody had a vote to say, do you want Aaron Donald going to Hall of Fame? It's a yes, unanimously. Other than people being mad about the process.
No, you're absolutely right with that, bro. Look, we got probably 1 to 2 more because, like I said, I know it's about that time on your end, and I'm checking on my end as well, baby. But what I wanted to ask you, though, man, just simply going back to your time here in Pittsburgh, man, you played in a ton of ball. You had a ton of big-time action, man, and some big-time wins. But for you, what would you say was your favorite memory from your time playing in the league, bro?
Favorite memory, I was ready to be done when I retired. So the game is the game, right? It was probably those Thursday nights at Pounce House, or even when we were younger, we'd go to Chris Kimawatu's house on the south side and have O-line night, and then the wide receivers might pull up, and then the linebackers might pull up. Like, it's those things to me I think is very invaluable because the game, like I said, is the game. So when it comes down to how we were as brothers and how we built those squads, going from the springtime, being away from your family, to training camp when it's hail, and then kicking the season off. And I'd be remiss, man, if I didn't mention the fans. Like, my welcome to what real football was going to a bar after a loss. And having people looking at me like, why in the hell are you out? You lost the game. You don't have no right to be out. Like, y'all laugh at that because you know it's true, right? And
still a nation, they don't joke like that, bro. Yeah, that's real.
But then it's the small stuff, like you said, of what being a Steeler is. Like, man, being able to in the city of Pittsburgh, call somewhere and be like, yeah, have my wife call and be like, hey, looking for a reservation. Then I call and say, hey, trying to get a reservation for Ramon. And they let me, like,
put you in the VIP section. Yeah,
exactly. And so it's the love that Pittsburgh gets you when you win, gives you when you win.
Mm-hmm.
It's the camaraderie of the players, and it's the idea that every single Sunday, Monday, Thursday, or whenever you play the games, right? Sunday, Monday, Thursday, that stadium is going to be full of everybody wearing black and gold jerseys. Like seeing that towel twirl running out of the tunnel, nothing greater.
Nothing like
so it's moments like that for me.
Nah, love that, baby. Love that. And then the last one that we got, man, because like I said, do want to be respectful of your time and things like that, man. But we also got to talk about that real life welcome to the NFL moments. You know that moment where you was out there and you be like, oh, God, no, I ain't in Tennessee no more. All right, this is a little bit different right here. What's that one for you, baby?
It was my rookie year. Truthfully, I got baptized, okay? I did, man. It was the reality, like you can lose your job and never play again.
Ooh.
So it was my rookie year. Yeah,
it
my
was
rookie
that bad,
year.
Bro? God, dog.
It was. Hey, now listen to what happened. We had training camp my rookie year, and I'm wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, didn't know a thing.
Okay.
And the first day we had him pass, man, I had to go up against Casey Hampton, Brett Kiesel, Travis Kersey.
Okay.
Travis Kersey, Hokey, bro, and they worked me. I'm talking about I got put in the blender, okay? And I'm already feeling like crap. So we go to the team meeting in the dorm room at Latrobe, and you know how Coach Tomlin put up his little slides and everything.
He gonna put you on that.
He do a practice review. And the second slide was my mug shot, me with the words, don't take it.
Don't take it. Oh.
And then he showed every clip of me getting worked. And he told me, don't take it. And I was like the size of an ant, okay?
Ooh.
But if you know Coach Tomlin, he does that type of stuff to light a fire.
Uh-huh.
And at that point, every day he said that to me for about 3 years straight. And just to remind me, like, hey, you can do this, man. Like, don't. And it wasn't no cheerleader type of thing. It was hey, I see more in you than what you see in yourself. You can go with these dudes. And that next day, man, I just started I literally was fighting. You know what I'm saying? And that to me was my welcome to the NFL moment. And fast forward halfway through camp, right before we about to get out of camp, right? We're going to snack at nighttime, and Coach Tomlin's working out in Latrobe's weight room. And he comes out, hey, big fella, come here. This is my rookie year. I go over there to him. He was like, how you think you're doing? And at the time, I felt pretty good. I was like, I think I'm doing pretty good. And he looked at me, Moats, and he said, you are.
Oh, hey.
And that's all I needed.
Yeah.
So that was my welcome to the NFL moment right there. But I got to give that dude a lot of credit, man. I know when he won deep in the playoffs. I know Super Bowl hadn't been there for a while. But I'm telling you, the dude know what he's doing. It's just a matter of putting the pieces to the puzzle together to get to that next phase. Who's to say? I know a lot of people want him gone and crap like that, but I'm telling you, the dude is good at what he does.
Big facts, bro. Big facts. I like it, man. Dude, man, we could do this all day, but like I said, we're going to be super respectful, so it's all good, but we're going to spin the block. We'll do this another time, man, but definitely appreciate you again, man, taking some time to jump on the podcast with us. And for all the listeners out there, this is official. See, it's no podcast beef. I told y'all, man. Moan is nice to me, man. All right, I say, hey, Mr. Ramon Foster, big time. Hey, remember me? And he was like, yo, it's all love, bro. See, I told y'all, man. He ain't gonna beat nobody. It's all love, man.
We were teammates. You think a digital space makes us enemies?
Hey, look.
It's called the World Wide Web.
Come on, man. It's worldwide. Everybody on this thing. Everybody, man. Hey.
There's enough for everybody, man. Y'all ain't got to choose. Hey, everybody eats beef. It's better when the family don't feud.
Straight like that, my bro. Straight like that, man. But like I said, man, definitely appreciate you again, man, and keep killing it in every single thing that you doing, bro.
You too, my brother. Hey, y'all keep doing y'all thing, man. I appreciate y'all having me on and even considering me. Y'all some cool fellas, man.
You already
we'll
know,
have to
bro.
swap it out, Most. We'll have to swap it out.
Hey, you already know, bro. Anytime, hit my line, baby.
All right, for sure. Y'all be cool.
All right, peace.
Peace, bro.
Shout out right there, man. The one and only Ramon Foster, a.k.a. the Big Ragu. If you was digging the convo, man, hit that like button one time for the culture. Don't forget to subscribe either, all right?